And now we are going to talk about the third and final week of 65th Peninsula Music Festival in Fish Creek, Door County. By this time, I like to introduce to our public and to our orchestra another guest conductor. We've done it in the last few years, and this time the guest conductor is another good friend of mine, whose name is Guy Victor Bordeaux, who many years ago was my student. He came to Northwestern to obtain his Doctor of Music degree in symphonic conducting, and we became very good friends. He is my best friend now. Guy is on the faculty of University of Akron, Ohio. He is director of orchestral program, and he is also conducting contemporary music ensemble, and he is teaching conducting classes. I've chosen very interesting program for Guy because it's full of novelties and because it is full of summer flavor. The title of this program is Summers in Spain, and he will start with 3 excerpts from ballet by De Falla, Three-Cornered Hat, and it's a very good beginning for that. Then we will introduce 2 soloists, both violinists, to play a double concerto for 2 violins for the first time ever in Door County. And that concerto was written by Xavier Zogby, who lives in Las Palmas, Gran Canaria. I happened to conduct this concerto on the world premiere, which was March 31st, 1995. And I liked it so much, I asked the composer to give me parts, the solo parts, and orchestra parts in the score, and he gave it to me. And I always wanted to play it again, but it could never happen for one or another reason. I don't know why. It's just not that easy to find 2 violinists who would want to play together and to learn new piece. But finally I struck a luck, because we have a new professor of violin in Northwestern. Her name is Desiree Roostrat. By the way, Desiree Roostrat already appeared as a soloist with the Tchaikovsky violin concerto when she was 14 years old. So it is her long-awaited return, right? And she will be joined by Dmitry Pogorelov, who is now a doctoral student at Northwestern. At the same time, he's the newest member of the first violin section of Peninsula Music Festival. And so 2 of them will play this concerto for 2 violins by Xavier Zogby. And for them, it's going to be a second performer, because the first one took place just at the end of January at the Northwestern University Symphony Concerts, where they played it for the very first time. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a magnificent piece. And then after intermission, there will be 2 works performed. One, Capriccio Espagnol by Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov, and Ballet Suite Les Cid by Jules Massenet. So you could figure out that the whole scope of music of that concert is mostly dancing and mostly Spanish. Very summery, very joyful, very brilliant, energetic, and delightful. And that will be our Tuesday night program. Moving on to the Thursday program, we will finish our Thursday Dvorak Mini Fest, this time introducing a 3rd emerging conductor whose name is Taichi Fukumura, and who is currently finishing his master's degrees at Binon School of Music at Northwestern under my direction. Tai Chi is here with us, and I would like him to introduce himself and talk about your study here.
Yes.
And what you expect from festival.
Yeah.
And what can you tell us about the piece I assigned you to conduct?
Yes. So, hello, my name is Tai Chi, and I am a violinist and conducting student in my currently in my second year master's, studying with Victor Yampolsky. For my undergrad, I studied violin performance in Boston University, where Boston is where I grew up, actually. So, my teacher there, Peter Zazowski, is somebody who I studied with many years through high school and undergrad. And I came here studying with you. It's been a fantastic, so far, year and a half in our 2-year program. Unbelievable. It was much more than expected, what we've been going through. And this summer, I'll get to work with you with the Peninsula Orchestra, which is, I think, going to be the first time I work with a professional orchestra. And the funny thing is, the piece I'll be conducting is Josef Suk's Meditation on Saint Wenceslas, which is a piece by a student of Dvorak, Josef Suk. So in this concert featuring Dvorak's music, it's kind of cool that I get to do this piece alongside you.
Of course. It is all you. I was just in the neighborhood, you know.
And this meditation is a beautiful lyrical strings piece, which is a fantastic opportunity for me because I am a string player, I'm a violinist. It's a strong point of mine, and it'll be a great way for me to start to work with these players.
Well, I actually thought it exactly the same way, trying to figure out what would be the best work for you. And I thought it would be great for you to conduct string music. So I found this connection between Dvorak and Josef Suk, and connection between you and me, and hopefully it will all work beautifully. Mm-hmm. Now the second piece is going to be a rarely performed piano concerto by Dvorak, and my soloist will be newcomer to Peninsula Music Festival. His name is Vasily Primakov. Vasily Primakov is Russian. He's graduate of Moscow Conservatory. Of course, he immigrated later and he lives in New York. We met in Durban, South Africa, perhaps 3 or 4 years ago, because he was playing Chopin Concerto in F minor number 2, and I was guest conductor. But since we started to speak Russian, and I was very impressed with his qualities, especially lyrical qualities, and unmistakable Moscow school of playing piano, I asked him if he plays any other concertos, like Dvorak. And he said, sure, anytime. And so I think it's great that I found him, always for more reasons than one. Reason one is we like to introduce young upcoming talents. Reason two, because he does play Dvorak concerto for piano. And number three, because he is from Moscow, so it makes all of us going back home. Anyway, so that concerto is magnificent. I don't know why it is forgotten today, but I believe it is a very, very beautiful piece for piano, and very Czech too. And then we will finish our mini fest of Dvorak with the most popular symphony from the New World, Symphony number 9. No matter how popular it is, it's not an easy piece to conduct, nevertheless. And I tell you why it's not easy. Because every time I return to music which I did before, I always find things which I did not do, things which needs to be done, certain shades or phrases which I should highlight it and forgot last time and wasn't able, certain accents of the musical flow which escaped me. I always remember the last time, and I always remember only things which did not work out. And so I'm always looking forward to give it another try, to do it better. And so this is my hope, that I will finally do it better. And now let's finish our conversation by talking about the final concert of the Peninsula Music Festival, which starts with a piece, Aureole. It is a description of a ring of light, of the sunlight, at the moment when it is covered by moon. All right, so it is a eclipse, and the whole sun is covered, but you see only this aureole. And I wanted to play this piece not only because I like to introduce new music, but also because a few days after this festival, actually on Monday, we are going to have lunar eclipse. So I like to remind our public about this very interesting event by playing music related to the music of spheres. The lady who wrote it, Augusta Reed Thomas, is also one of the spectacular, famous American composers today. But there are some things about her biography which not very many people know. First of all, she was born and raised in a little town, Lee, Massachusetts, which is 5 miles south of Tanglewood. Second of all, she went to her undergrad as a composer to Northwestern University, and her working hours as a student was to be librarian in my orchestra. Therefore, I know her as Gusty Thomas for many, many years, and I'm very happy to find opportunity to perform her work. And so we will do that piece. It's not very long piece, just about 8 minutes, but it is a spectacular collection of bright sounds. Just very, very interesting piece of music. The second piece on the program is Symphony No. 7 by Sergei Prokofiev. That symphony was his last before his unfortunate death on the same day as Joseph Stalin, 5th of March 1953. That piece was written specifically at the request of conductor Samuil Samasud, who was a music director of Moscow Philharmonic Youth Orchestra. So with youth in mind, he created this magnificent symphony, which could be called a little simpler than his Symphony No. 5 or his very tragic Symphony No. 6. And nevertheless, it is a pure joy to play and to listen. And you could understand that the general mood of this piece is not much looking backward to the war from 1941 to 1945, but to look forward to the life of next generation of Soviet kids. And it will be first performance of Peninsula Music Festival of the symphony by Sergei Prokofiev. Of course, as a young boy, I loved every note of it. It's very popular among youth in Moscow, and I'm very glad to be able to do this symphony. There was a little bit of problem with the ending of the symphony, because it's a symphony is in C sharp minor, and it is finished in C sharp minor. But the composer Samasud thought that it creates a wrong impression with our youth with this minor key ending, and he wanted more brilliant, more reassuring ending. And so Prokofiev created second ending in a major key. But in my humble opinion, that ending has nothing to do with the symphony. So I'm going to do original version in C-sharp minor. And then we are going to play Concerto Number 1 by Shostakovich, violin concerto, which will be performed by James Ennis. And I think that this performance is going to be the most fitting, climatic point of the whole festival, when James Ennis will come back and play Shostakovich Violin Concerto Number 1. I did conduct him, this piece, with the Omaha Symphony, but that was probably 13 or 14 years ago, so it's time to repeat it, bring it to Door County. So this is my small preview of the festival. Of course, I would like to encourage all of you to make your way to Wisconsin and to attend our concerts. They are absolutely marvelous. Thank you very much.